So it's the, I don't know, 16th of August, I think, 2024. I've just had a night in the Premier Inn on my own, without Joe. So I've just had breakfast. I'm stuffed. The last time I did this was November 2019. And when I got in the car, I drove somewhere close to the Premier Inn and did something very silly. Not looking good, is it?
So you've just seen a little clip saying I was going to go and look at something. The last time I looked at something was, like I said, November 2019. I came back with the Marlin. It's now November. I've had what I went to look at for a few days. Took a while to get here. But I've been on holiday briefly, so I've only just been able to come back. The exciting thing for me is, well, I'll just turn you around and show you. So here we are. I've wanted one of these since I was a kid. Literally, I remember being at Headington and Stockley Steam Rally, pestering my dad for one. Must be when I was 7 or 8. There was one for sale, and I just wanted it. This particular one's a Series 2. I'm not sure of the year. I think it's 48 or 49, judging by the serial number. I think it's 48. It's been suggested it could be 49. In the few days we've had it, we've found a few things out about it, which is pretty cool. One of the things is, although it was built in England, it didn't spend its life here. It was exported and then it's been imported back. I'll show you in a minute why we know that. Tell me she's in rusty but pretty good condition. You see my bits and pieces on there. I mean, like when you sort of look down here, what I was told, a lot of the British tractors, all of these sort of seams here are all blowing with rust normally. There's a lot of original paint. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. See, there's no number plates on it because it's not actually registered yet. We're waiting for the registration number to come through. I actually found this at, I didn't find it, Robert Crawford's had it for sale up in Boston, Lincolnshire, and they are the Field Marshal spares and tractor people. If you want one done up, they're probably the people to do it up for you if you're not doing it yourself. And if you want spares, they're still making parts new for these, which is pretty cool. When I went to see it, it had some work done. It had crank seals done, injector, fuel pumps been reconditioned, new radiator fan bearings and chaff screen on the other side, new power start valve and breech, which is quite important because you can start these with a shotgun cartridge, although I haven't brought any with me today. The brakes have been gone through and overhauled. By the look of it, it's had a new tap down there. That's the drain for the water jacket. They put a new seat and cover and that on it for me. One of the things I asked them to do when I went to look at it was, a lot of these only do 6 mile an hour, or about 6 mile an hour, but there was a 9 mile an hour gear made for them. They were available new with the 9 mile an hour gear. And they've actually fitted the 9 mile an hour gear for me, so it's had a high speed top gear put in it. Now, the really cool thing about this that we've sort of discovered, didn't sort of realise this, I was talking to Robert when we were looking at it. He said he thought it had come from overseas because of the condition of it. Didn't think it was a UK tractor. And when I was actually looking at it at Crawford's, we spotted this, that bit of writing there. Now that says Something Garage, West Waylong, New South Wales, which suggests, because that's actually the cylinder block, that it's had a new cylinder block at some point in its early life in New South Wales. Now, we've done a bit of digging. I actually went onto the West Waylong Facebook page. I'll turn you back round so you can look at my smiling face again. I just went onto the West Waylong Facebook page, and or one of the Facebook pages, and I sort of said, put pictures of this up, said, look, I've just bought this tractor, we think it's come from you guys, from your area. This is what's written on it. And if I just pull my phone out and find the post, I found out a little bit of information. So, oh, that's the wrong thing. I should have been prepared and done this before. Unfortunately, preparation is not my middle name. I can't even find the right post now. But basically, it's believed. Oh, Bill Darley. So it says you can just make out a D. Everyone thinks it's probably Bill Darley's garage who did the work on it, and there was a mention. Messner was apparently the local dealer, so it's probably sold through Messner's, and then at some point in life, Darley's garage has fitted a block to it. Now, the other thing that suggests it's definitely an Australian tractor, other than Esme sniffing it, we've got these tyres on it, which are oversized. You quite often see Australian tractors with quite big balloon tyres on them, or compared to what we would have in England. So that was one thing that made me think, oh, maybe this isn't the best tyre to see it on, actually. No, right, let's go around to the other side. It does terribly need new back tyres, because they are in awful condition. But if you look down there, tyres are made in Australia, and I've never seen Australian tyres for sale in England. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This being a Series 2, it's I've only ever driven a Series 3 before I bought this. It's a little bit strange because you only have one pedal. That pedal does your clutch part way, and then it operates a transmission brake, which I'll show you where that is. The only problem is if you put your foot on the brake and take it out of gear, it's not got any brakes. So you have a handbrake over by the seat, and you've got two tiller brakes as well for independent brakes on the back wheels. So if you put the handbrake on, you can use the handbrake to hold it on the back wheels. When you take it out of gear, you want the two tiller brakes. So you throttle here, you push it all the way forward for stop, part way back for starting. 3-speed gearbox in reverse. Very, very strange gearbox. Reminds me a bit of a 2CV. So to put it into gear, it pulls backwards or forwards like that. Let's see if it will actually go. And then, yeah, that's into first, and then it pops back and hooks in to actually lock itself in. So if it's not, it probably won't go into reverse. Oh no, well, sometimes the gears don't line up and you can't move it. I actually put my shoulder out on last Thursday trying to get it into gear without slipping the clutch slightly. But yeah, so a couple of cool things about these tractors. I will show you starting up in a minute. One of the really cool things, one of the things I really like is they're a single cylinder, which you probably already know. I'd expect if you're watching this video, you probably already know a bit about these. But they're a single cylinder, they're roughly 5 litre, about 299 cubic inches. They're hand start, or you can put a cartridge in the breech. Oh, there we go. Showing that there is the brake. That's what brakes it. It pushes on the back of the flywheel, which is quite strange. So yeah, so you can hand start or cartridge start them. Actually, this one, today was the first time I have cold started it this morning, I'm going to be honest with you. To get it out of the shed, I had to put it in gear and wind it out on the flywheel before I could get the starting handle in it. But I have started up and run it around a little bit. So I'd never cold started it before, and it started surprisingly easily. Yeah, they're 5 litre, sorry, I've got distracted again as usual, but they're actually a 2-stroke. A bit like the Marlin, apart from air comes in to the air filter, which is behind here, straight down into the crankcase. Once it gets into the crankcase, just like a 2-stroke petrol engine, like a strimmer or a chainsaw, the piston moving back in the cylinder creates pressure in the crankcase, which is what pushes the air through, so it doesn't have a blower. Unlike the Detroits or the Commas, or a lot of the other much more common 2-stroke engines that you sort of see about, they don't have a blower. The only other the only other sort of small non-blowing two-strokes I can think of are like the Lands tractors, the Bulldogs, but they're a little bit different. They're a semi-diesel rather than a full diesel. So they're a hot bulb engine, where this one isn't. This isn't a hot bulb engine, this is a full diesel. But yeah, so she's a two-stroke. It's got a habit of spitting oil out the exhaust. You can see, I've had it running this morning. You can't quite see on the camera, I don't think. There are some spots of oil under it. This is actually a pipe from the exhaust, which allows the oil to drain out to try to stop you being covered. Yeah, so this is the new tractor. Brief bit of history about this tractor. Brief bit of history of where it's come from, which I'm trying to find out some more. I'm not very hopeful, to be honest, but it'd be really cool if I could find out what farm it came from out in New South Wales, and it'd be so cool if I could find some pictures of it from its working life. I'll be honest, when I bought it, I didn't expect even to find out what I found out now about it, so that's amazing. I'll show you it starting up, and then I'm going to have to ring around and try and get some tyres. So hopefully by the time the registration number comes through, we'll have some back tyres on it and we can actually take it out for a drive. So yeah, see you shortly. So going to go through starting of the Marshall. First things first, I'm just going to have to nip round and get the hammer out the toolbox and the starting handle. So as usual, I should have thought about this before. So there we go, there's the starting handle, pop her in. Hammer's just to tap this because I haven't got a cartridge, so. So take this out the front. I can't remember what they call it. It's a wick holder or a fuse holder, I think. Gonna pop that out. And now, with the throttle partly open, probably about 3/4, I'm going to wind her over a couple of times. And hopefully, you might hear it. It's a bit noisier today, but that creak is the injector injecting. Now, I'm just lining up the flywheel to the start position. I'll be honest, on a hand start it doesn't need to be at the start position, because that's only for when you're doing power start, really. I'm being it just makes it easier for me to get the handle. If I'm pulling it backwards, when it fires is when I'm pushing forwards, which apparently is a bit safer. Now, I'll come and show you what I'm doing. I haven't taken up smoking, but if I come forward, the wick holder, a bit of card. This card's actually blotting paper that's been soaked in saltpeter. So what we've got to do, I've got to roll this. I'm doing this slightly in the wrong order, I've just realised. I'm not an expert at these at all. So you literally poke that in there. I'm just going to set the decompressor because I forgot. The decompressor's on a spiral. So it gives me a certain amount of turns. I think I can get up to 5 turns. 3 turns is usual for hand start. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's like a thread cut in. One day I will take you around and show you properly. Probably when we do a power start. Now I'm going to light this. It's glowing, very hot. I'm going to screw it in the front of the tractor, which just gives it that extra bit of heat to start. I don't know how much you're going to hear me. I'm just going to, well, once I actually start the damn thing. And here we go for a wind in. Wish me luck. Like that. It's already warm, so she might run a bit slower. There we go. And that's how you start a two-stroke Marshall. This is why I love Marshalls. I think they're fucking amazing. Sorry, I'll let it at that. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.